welcome to Kia Speaks, and I'm Kia. So over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about change, and unfortunately, you didn't get to see these videos when I originally recorded them because it took me a while to get the content that I wanted to put out here. But we've been talking about change, so we've been through the stages of change. We've talked about how policy is changing and just how the world is changing overall. But I know one of the deterrents to change is avoidance. And it's like, why do people avoid changing? Like, why is it people don't want to make positive changes in their lives for themselves, for their community? As politicians, like, why don't they want to change? And so as we're talking about avoidance, think about what is it in life that you've been avoiding. Who have you been avoiding in order to not change? You know, what I realized, and I'm going to use this scenario or situation. So I used to work in a community with single moms or early moms who had either were pregnant or about to deliver babies, or they had small toddlers. And so one of the things that always mind-boggled me was, why would they avoid opening mail, especially when certain benefits would come through the mail, like paperwork and things of that nature. And so a lot of times they would miss out on deadlines because they simply avoided, you know, the necessary steps to either carry through, to renew, to obtain needed services. And so why do we avoid? Like, if anyone has the answer to that question, please tell me, like, why do we avoid doing what is necessary to get the change that we need in our own lives? Now, those things are resources, but sometimes we do that when it comes to how we are as people. We avoid changing for fear of looking weak. We avoid changing for fear, period, because we don't know what the unknown is going to be like. And I think that's absurd, you know, even still, but we won't talk a whole lot on that. But the idea is that we stop avoiding change. Change is inevitable. As human beings, we evolve, or we should be evolving into better human beings, meaning that no, our stature hasn't changed, but our mindset should have shifted. You know, something we've learned and come to learn should have enhanced us in some type of way. We should be evolving. We should be becoming more. Not just as individuals, but as a society. Like, we should be changing and becoming more than what was ever destined or designed for us to be. And so with that, let's stop avoiding. Like, avoidance, I think, is the devil. And I think, and I hate to say it that way, that sounds real churchy, but, you know, avoidance, I believe, is just strictly the devil. Like, why would you avoid change? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." Hence, you have to change. Transform means change. You have to change, but we get caught up in being stuck where we are and afraid of change because we don't want to appear weak. We don't want to appear to be vulnerable. We don't want to appear as if we're giving in, like we are a weaker vessel, or that we're weak. And the truth be told is, I think it takes a strong person to change, to realize, hey, this is not working. Like, I need to be better for my family and my community. I need to be better as an individual. And so let's stop avoiding the process of change and the desire to change, and let's just change. Like, think about what in your life, and I know I had you guys pick out an issue in your life that you wanted to work on gradually, and how many people have, you know, avoided the necessary thing that you wanted to change. Like, you don't want to confront it, you don't want to face it. And in order to change, you have to confront. You have to face the fear of whatever it is that you're trying to change, and be willing to go forth with it. Like I told you, I'm here with you. I got your back. I'm here to help. But we have to stop avoiding change. We have to, in order to be better as individuals, as a society, as family members, as husbands, as wives, as daughters, as moms. Like, we have to do better by not avoiding the change that's necessary. Because if we can't change anything, we certainly can change us. You know, with God's help. But we can change. We can make some changes even without God's help. And I'm not saying that you don't need His help. What I'm saying is, there's things that we can do. There's steps that we can actually take where God doesn't even have to be involved. And we just make a decision to make the necessary changes. Now, what I will say, things are so much better and sweeter when God is involved in the necessary changes. But the changes that I think that require God are those hard things like adultery and just being a womanizer and alcohol and drugs. Those types of things definitely require God's help, his guidance, your connection to his spirit. Like, you need God for those things. But changing a mindset, like if God says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that lets me know that you can change the way that you think. I've been working with clients the last couple of weeks, and some of the things that we've been attacking is negative thoughts. And how do we reframe and restructure how we think about the changes that we need to be? Our perspective is pretty much what I deal with them on. It's how we see stuff. How do we interpret the messages that we've received? And when I say received, past tense from childhood, because these are adults that I'm working with. And so how do we change and transform those messages that we received into something positive? Or did we have a shift, or did we think wrongly in the way that we interpreted that message? And so I want you to think wholeheartedly. I want you to think constructively. And I want you to think, period, about what it is you've been avoiding. What is it that you've been telling yourself that has gotten in your way from making the necessary changes that you need to make in your life? We all have the ability and the capability to change, but we must not avoid. Let's not do that. Let's go forth and make some positive, serious changes so that we can be better, that we can have a prosperous and productive life, and that we can truly live out the way God intended us to. But it's small steps. Not to say you're going to get it all and just, me talking to you. That's not how this works. It's really from your efforts. I just bring it out to you. I just highlight the issues revolving change. I just highlight what it is that you need to do to change, and then it's up to you to actually apply it and determine what that change looks like for you. I'm not the expert in your life. I'm the expert of my life. And so being the expert of my life, I know what Shakia needs to change. Now you have to decide what it is you need to change. And so I welcome you to take this journey, be with us, go with us, as we move forward into changing, just being better Christians, being better people, being better as a collectivist society where all are included. And that's technically, that's not what our society is. It's very individualistic. It's all about me, myself, and I. What can I do? What can I be? And we don't think much about others, but we can change that too, to where we incorporate love for all in order to be better for all. All right, so I'm not going to talk you to death today. It has been a pleasure. I actually have missed being on recording and actually talking to you guys. It's been a couple of weeks. By the time I load these videos, they're just going to be out there for everyone to see. But I really hope you would take advantage and really make a decision to change and be better. So have a blessed and wonderful week, and I'll be talking to you soon.